And welcome back to Poltergeist Board Games. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of Cross Bronx Expressway by GMT Games. This came out 2025, designed by Non-Breaking Space. So, this is a 1 to 3 player game, 90 to 180 minutes. Solitaire suitability is high and complexity is medium. So what you're doing is it says during his 1980 presidential campaign, California Governor Ronald Reagan took a tour of the South Bronx. As he walked the same streets that President Jimmy Carter had walked 3 years prior, what Reagan witnessed was a scene so devastating it caused him to remark he had not seen anything that looked like this since London after the Blitz. Cross Bronx Expressway is a game about the social, economic processes that created the scene in the South Bronx and the impacts they had on the local population during the second half of the 20th century. So, let's open this up and we'll look at the board and rules and cards and everything. Okay, so first thing we get is private orientation guide, and it is 27 pages long. Then we get community orientation guide. These are like the different factions, also 27 pages. Then we have the public orientation, and that one is 29 pages. Then we have rules and regulations, Cross Bronx Expressway, and that one is 39 pages. And then we have a historical record, and this one is 59 pages. Then we have some player aids. So we have what every Bronx resident should know. So there's community actions, census quota data, audit phase, and it's double-sided, event icons, objectives. Then you've got the private urban investor, what every urban investor should know. So you get private actions, objectives, public actions, objectives, community actions, objectives, census quota, data, corrections phase, audit phase. And then you got audit phase continued, objectives phase, reset phase, and then you have the public servant, public actions. Community actions, private actions, census quota data, same kind of stuff. Event action icons. So there's that player aid. Then we have another player aid here, the golden rule, general principles, and then different like chart here. It's double-sided. This is reminding me a lot of the coin series. This is part of Irregular Conflict series. It's volume 3 in the Irregular Conflict series. So I'll have to check out what the other two are, and I'll post them right here. Let's see, we have counters. some tiles, and they're double-sided. Some more tiles here. And more. These look like they're the different factions because they're color-coded. Alright, now we have the board. Alright, so this is a 22-inch by 34-inch board. So we'll skim across the top here. So you've got a tracker along the top. You've got public, cases, grant loan, population, vulnerabilities. Not sure, that might be a victory point tracker there. Coming down the right side, infrastructure, organizations, decade, event deck, current event. And then across the bottom, sequence of play, census, corrections, private. You've got the community. And then across the left side. And then you've got the middle here, different districts. So that's that. That's so 22-inch by 34. All right, and then we have a bunch of blocks. So you've got some wooden, pinkish red blocks. You've got some like regular wood-colored blocks, big and small. Then you have some pawns, some black and white pawns. Then you have some markers here, tokens, different cylinders, round markers. Then we have a die here, 6-sided die. It's got different denominations and things. You have plastic baggies for your counters. Then we get into the cards. And accountable, organizer, dedicated, collaborator, volunteer, lending, 1990 to 1999, 1980 to 89. These are events, it looks like. Oh, census. Interesting. It's very, I picked this game because I just thought it was an interesting subject and, just looked kind of neat. Laissez-faire, suburbanize, invest, develop. So that's those. And then it looks like we have a continuation of events over here. So yeah, these look like more events. Through the years here, 50s, 60s. It started in the 40s, 70s, 80s. So goes on, 88, 89. Here we go, 50 to 59. So that's cool. So that's all that. And then let's get back to the rules. Check those out. All right, so let's look at the historical record. So you have a table of contents here. Introduction. Different messages by different people. Prelude. And then you've got your information for the different. So it's kind of like a scenario book. So it's going to tell you how to set up for each thing. So like the 40s, how to set it up, your population of the Bronx, your districts, range change events. So that's interesting. Then you get some more comments by planning people and so forth during that decade. 1940s events. So this will explain the cards that you will draw during that decade. And then it's the same thing. You're going to continue on 50s all the way through the 90s. And then it has an epilogue, acknowledgement, selected works. So that's that. Then we have the rules and regulations. So you're going to start with, it's got like a little table of contents here in the front. Then you have the introduction, gameplay overview. This explains the board and how to read all the different spaces and what goes where. Always great to have pictures and stuff to reference. Components, the board, different tracks. It's going to go over the different pieces. So the large wooden block was 5 population, the little one's 1, and then the pinkish red is 1 vulnerability. Then you're going to talk about infrastructure, organizations, action and resource cylinders, pawns, fund raised die. You've got markers here, socioeconomic coalitions, petitions and blight, grants and loans, bonds, gold stars, victory points, losses, census, decade marker. Then it's going to go into the cards. Sequence of play. Quota phase, corrections phase, audit phase, objective phase, and reset phase. Then it's going to talk about the factions and their actions. So you've got the public faction, their actions. You've got the community faction, their objectives, their actions. And then you've got the private sector action, or faction, and their actions. Then you've got winning and losing. I'll be reading the losing part because I do that a lot. Player positions. Choosing player positions. Achieving position goals, priority objectives, selecting a new player position, non-player positions. The golden rule, general principles, general priorities, action selection, action resolution, event resolution, goals and priority objectives, census rounds, non-player examples of play, and it's got some illustrations, setup instructions, setting up a session, linked sessions, 6 decades of the South Bronx, and 1990s, a 1-decade game. And then you've got a glossary, which is nice. And then finally a list of the game contents there. All right, and then you've got these little orientation guides for each faction. So this is a public So just tells you how to play that side, setting up the districts, infrastructure, resources, budget action, actions in a round. So it's going to go through that for each one of these: public, community, and private. So that is everything in the box. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.